Switch on over.
All right.
Hey
guys.
Hey.
Here we go.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Welcome to Mike's Back Porch. It is Pints and Pistons. It is Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen.
It's
Get
Friday.
your dollar bills out. Oh, it's Friday night.
Friday night.
See, this is why I don't DJ any fucking Anyway.
Welcome to Pints and Pistons.
Welcome to Pints and Pistons, ladies and gentlemen. It is Friday night. The gang's all here.
Minus Brian still.
Minus
Brian is still recovering.
Still
and
recovering.
watching from home.
He will be back.
He will be back soon.
Yes, he will.
We're gonna do it for Brian soon.
Doing it for Brian. That's something. Yeah.
No, hashtag we're doing it for Brian. Every single Pints and Pistons. We're hashtag doing it for Brian.
Doing it for Brian.
Doing it for Brian.
Doing it for Brian. Welcome to Pints and Pistons. Will, you want to taper us in all our names? And Will's our special guest, who is a permanent special guest. Anyway, you want to stripper DJ our names in here for the new guys who've never been here before?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Welcoming you to the main stage right now. We have Mike and his glorious, beautiful long hair. Does some amazing things on the pole. Blow your mind. The shiny-headed man over here with his glasses. You're not so shiny-headed, but that's okay. Give you the ride of your life. You'll have no idea what you're getting into. And this fine specimen of a man right here, he goes by the name of Chris. Need the rest of the imagination. Y'all know my ugly ass. So.
That's short for Chris in your ass with motor oil.
And if you guys don't know, if you're new here, we are Pints and Pistons. We talk about car stuff, and we drink beer stuff, and talk about beer stuff.
And car stuff.
Excuse me.
Car stuff.
And that's it. Yeah, yeah, that's about it. It's uncut, unedited. If you don't like profanity, you're gonna want to leave. We go, and we're talking about shapes.
Yeah, we're talking about triangles today.
Triangles.
But before we get into that,
yeah, before we get into that though, we also need to thank everyone. We got to do that every time.
Yeah,
and
so
make sure
we
you
gotta
guys
thank.
Smash the bell. And all that.
At that point, yeah, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button, all that shit. We also got to thank our local sponsors. By sponsors, they ain't giving us money, but they are people that we support all the way, and you should too if you're local to us. Wrench Monkey Garage, #1, with if you've ever been to one of our Pints and Pistons events, which our third one's going to be April 26th. It's going to be good. So yeah, Wayne and Ellie at Wrench Monkey Automotive, they're amazing. If you need anything in that, they are to the T fucking perfect. Then we also got Doodlebug Dog Ranch. They do amazing things for veterans with dogs, training them and all that, so they get service dogs in the areas that they need them for. Clutch Shift Go, our friend Chris over there at Clutch Shift Go, he's our OG sponsor, the very first person that was like, I like your shit. Let's do this.
Which, as a matter of fact, for anybody who's going to be...
He's running a sale, I think, right now.
Well, I think he's running a sale, but also for anybody who's going to be running around the old Homosassa, Florida for the Shrimpapalooza event, you will find me out there with Chris.
I might be there, too.
I
might just show up myself.
We
might
might be
be
out
there.
there. You come buy some stuff. It's
Eat some shrimp, and trust me, when you go to Old Home Assassin for shrimp,
there will
you're
be
going.
shrimp. There will be beer. There's so much, and it's really a cool little show. I actually got a really stellar beer last time I was there too.
It's like Forrest Gump at that point. There's every type of shrimp you ever thought of that is going to be at
Shrimp
Shrimpapalooza.
Shrimp salad,
Shrimp
shrimp
cocktails,
kebab,
shrimp
shrimp
Alfredo,
Shrimp on the
shrimp-
Barbie.
shrimp,
every type of
shrimp.
shrimp.
So anyway, if y'all want to do
Grilled
that,
shrimp.
I'll be there next Saturday, March 14th, and maybe everybody else will be too.
Yeah, we don't know. But yeah, so guys, those are our main local people that support us and all that. But we just wanted to give a shout out to them. And before we get into our wonderful triangle defecta that we are running into, I don't even know if that's a word, a defecta.
It sounded good.
It sounded good. I want to
Triangles.
say one of the things on slight car news. Currently, right now, you can go to Cadillac and get a 2020 Escalade, not the new ones, not the 2021s that are coming out, the total new facelift on a new platform and all that. The 2020s, they with all the rebates and with them trying to push those out before the 2021s come in, you are able to get them for at least $19,000 off of MSRP.
It's still a
Really?
$50,000 SUV.
Yes,
It's
but
not-
the base
50.
price is
70.
76,000, but take 19,000 off of that, and if you are trading in a 14 to 17 Escalade, you get an extra $3,000 on top of
it's actually really not a bad deal.
So
I'm gonna go
there's
find
able-
a beat up ass North Star and bring it to
you are able to get close to $23,000 on rebates towards a 2020. Now it's not the new facelift and all that, but
Still a new car, new Escalade.
a
still.
brand new luxury SUV
Do you know
for
that
about
they're getting
$55,000-$60,000, which you gotta remember
not the Escalade, but the
that's a good price.
Yukon and the Suburban, the
Yeah.
Tahoe and all that?
Yeah.
You know they're getting a diesel option?
Yep.
For 2021?
Again, finally?
Yep.
It's been long enough.
I know. It's going to be horrible.
It probably will.
Utter trash.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's some new shit that I found. And
That's
also,
pretty cool.
I found that Ford is finally
Nobody's checked
Oh, yes.
realizing that their shit that they are doing with taking all these cars away and all that shit is hurting car sales.
Bad.
Yeah.
I heard the other day that they are trying to do a major change to where they are. Right now, they're in financial debt, almost like they were in 2009, to where they don't need a bailout, but
Something went down the road.
something's happened. Sorry, guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
something happened. We had a ambulance come flying by, and as you can hear in the background,
There are
there's
more
some-
things
yeah,
about to fly
just-
by. You'll see flashy lights behind
Yeah.
me. And us.
But yeah, so that's that, and then also the last Impala ran off the assembly line yesterday.
The last
In
Impala.
November of 2018, they announced that they were ending it. Well, the last one finally ran off yesterday, so that is the end of the Impala.
You know what else
nameplate
Chevy's
again.
killing next year?
Hmm.
Camaro.
Hmm.
They're
Again?
Killing, they're killing
Yeah,
Camaro
they're
again.
killing the Camaro off again.
Yep.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old
Oh
man?
man.
Yeah.
Oh, and witty surprise with GM. I mean, nobody expected this, but you know they were down on sales last year.
Oh yeah.
I can't finish that.
wonder
I can't finish
why.
this. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, look, they
strike,
just
strike,
killed Holden.
strike.
And Holden's
Holden
gone. They
is
just killed
gone.
Holden.
Holden's
gone.
Holden is
no more.
done in
And
Australia.
that is a sad thing because that officially makes it there is no Australian car makers in Australia anymore.
Right.
Nope. And
Everything's
No
a
more
global,
Utes.
everything is a global market. I mean, you gotta think the last Falcon rolled off the assembly line a couple of years ago, and that so
Mhm.
there's no more Falcons, there's no more Holdens, there's
No more Mondeos, none of that.
anything
Cars
like that.
getting more and more boring,
Boring.
every day.
And also, I think I don't think we mentioned anything about it in the last show. I don't remember, but I know I texted it to you guys. For 2021, the Supra. Well,
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about
Yeah,
it.
we
We did
talked
talk
about that
about
last
that?
episode. Yeah, it's getting the four-cylinder option, which is 255
no, that's not what I was talking about. The Europe thing. Are we talking
No,
about
no,
that?
no.
Oh,
we talked
no.
about
The 2021, the Supra will not be available anywhere in Europe.
Really?
Oh,
Wow.
Japan and U.S. only.
Really?
Oh,
Yep.
well.
I was gonna say because I know for 2021 they're finally bringing.
They're
up
doing the four-cylinder, but yeah, they're not offering it in Europe.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
problematic
I
for Europe.
know. Like, what's like everybody's kind of
So
doing
I guess
weird
everybody in Europe that is watching us, which is nobody, Get your 2020 Supers now.
Hold on, I just have to say this from all of us here in America to all of the Europeans that have been
They still
enjoying
gotta-
all of these fantastic cars for years. Now you know how it feels.
I knew where
fuckers.
you were going with that.
It's like,
Ah.
oh, look at
But-
the brand. Hold on, look at the brand new the RS 500. Yeah, we ain't getting it here in the United States. Look at the new ST. We ain't getting that in the United
Hey,
States.
look at all these
that.
Skylines. You're not allowed to have
Yeah.
them in the U.S.
Well, you don't get no damn Supras.
No Supra for
But
you.
they did have the Super all the way up to the end point where we stopped in what 2000.
We're not talking about that.
Yeah, but on the other side of
Let
that
us have
coin,
our
on the
limelight.
other side of that coin, they do have the Ranger Raptor.
Yeah,
And the state said, nah, we don't want it.
but they do have MOTs, which we live in Florida. You can put a shopping cart with a license plate on the road.
You can
You literally can.
Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody like you can literally build your own car and make up your own VIN number, and you can pass a certain inspection, and you can have a car in Florida.
There ain't no inspections.
And-
you
and-
didn't realize
hold on,
for the
this is-
last,
it
the
prove-
last
No,
2
no,
weeks.
to make your own car. You
The
can do
last
that.
2 weeks, my tag's been expired. The new one's been in the fucking glove box. I still haven't put it on the fucking car. Haven't gotten stopped.
Proof positive that you can damn near put a tag on anything and drive it down the road. I was going down 19 today, heading
Did you
towards...
see the boat car finally?
No, I didn't see the
No.
boat car,
You know
but
what I'm talking about.
I did see
You see the plane car?
a frame
Okay.
with wheels,
All right.
a radiator, an engine, a driver's seat, and a steering wheel. They were right at the end of the construction
Yeah.
right there. And as I was coming down 19 this morning, this guy was pulling out and got it out on the 19. I couldn't get my phone out fast enough to get a picture of it. Plated lights,
Yeah.
But no
just a
cam-
frame. Just a frame and an
Yep.
engine,
But you
steering
know
wheel,
what?
and a fucking seat. I was like,
But you know
This is
what?
why I
That
love
seat
Florida.
had somewhat of a seatbelt onto it.
yes.
Yep.
It had
The
headlights.
steering wheel
It-
might have had an airbag even.
You don't even need that. It had a seatbelt.
You really don't.
It had headlights. And
Yep.
it had
Has to have
taillights,
one mirror too.
turn signals, and there was one mirror somewhere on that
The
car.
Driver's side
Yeah.
mirror, that's all you have
Yep.
to
I
have.
was
Yep.
like, this dude's literally driving a frame
Yep.
Yeah.
down the road. I
Because-
Why not?
This is
because you
why
can.
I love
God
Florida.
bless Florida.
It's the ultimate car. Simplify and add lightness.
Yeah. And it's like the
Oh.
ultimate.
Oh, and
convertible,
it had
bro.
red wheels with white walls on it too. It just made it
He
even
was
better.
driving it to the body shop to get the body put back onto it.
Speaking of adding lightness, because it was used in a previous fellow Florida YouTuber's video, Tavarish bought a wrecked McLaren
Yes,
675.
he did, and I think he's over his
Nice.
head on it.
Well,
That car is trash, dude.
no offense to him, but he kind of little overplayed it. But like the undertones of the video, if you didn't quite 100% understand what's going on, they're actually that Auto Tempest is actually fully sponsoring the build. He's not spending anything.
Yeah.
I know, but
But still, that car is bad though. Like somebody
it's gonna
somebody
cost,
somebody
do you
done
realize
fucked
it's going to
up.
cost him over $150,000 to rebuild
Oh, to
that
fix it.
fucking
I'm wondering
car?
what he
Maybe
got
more.
it for. But still, like
I'd love to know what
it
he
was
picked
funny
it up
because
for.
the fender's all fucked up and he's like ripping on it and it breaks and he's like, there we go, adding lightness. He just
Yeah.
chucks it. That thing is pretty, like, somebody smashed that thing.
That car is beat
Yeah.
down, dude.
To go back to what we were talking about, though, we're talking about, what we can do in Florida. See, I moved here from a state where they had safety inspections and emissions
And we
regulations.
laugh at that.
And here, if you live in another state and you're watching this, Florida, it is a no-holds-barred, wild, wild west craziness. If
Yeah.
it will move under its own power,
Yep.
and it's got lights and doors on it, and you've got the mirror, the hood, the few safety requirements they have, here's your tag, have a good day.
You know, really easy.
No safety inspections
really,
whatsoever.
really easy way to laugh in Floridian and all of them. Hey guys, ask me if I got a catalytic converter on my car.
Wait, hold on. What are those?
What are
Laughs in Floridian.
Laughs in Floridian?
Oh yes, thank you very, very much.
What is
Oh,
those?
yes.
Wayne
Yeah.
got these for us.
Yeah,
No, I mean
no,
those. I
uh,
mean, like, what is those when I'm referring to
Oh,
cat, like
yeah.
cats?
Only one of
Oh,
my
what, a
cars
cat?
have a
They go meow.
cat, and that's the Focus, and it
Did
has
you-
a slight race cat on it that
Yeah.
still isn't even legal in fucking California.
Catalytic
But besides
converter.
that,
Never
all
heard
our
of it.
cars don't fucking have it.
Inspection? What's that?
I've
Inspection?
Never, had an
Never heard of
inspection
her.
in my entire life.
What? Looks fine to me.
Yeah,
Our fantastic
Hey,
monogram
hold on.
lugs.
Whose am I doing first?
Fine.
Yours?
Mine?
Yeah, do his first. Mine were warm. So.
Mine?
Fine.
Mine?
Fine.
Mine? 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 Mine?
Mine.
Fine. Fine. Fine.
Mine?
Part out. Part
Part
out.
out, part out, part out, part out, part out, part out. Yeah, people were asking John Delmain if he was parting out like
Parting
right
out.
after he wrecked.
Uh-huh.
Oh, poor
The
guy.
day he wrecked and posted it.
Like,
He
bro,
was
you coming off those wheels?
We're monsters in the car world. We really are.
We're terrible people.
I know.
Some dude will spend 15 years building his dream car, wreck it, and the first comment on the picture of the wreck is, part out?
Part out.
Part up.
Hey, can I buy those wheels?
You gonna sell them?
You want to sell that hood? I know it's bent, but I'll buy it.
Yep.
Hey, those seats are pretty nice. Can I buy those?
Can I have them
Part-
seats,
part out?
sir?
Oh, Billy. I
Either
wonder-
that or we post on a car that is obviously completely destroyed and totaled. Yeah, that'll buff out.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Don't worry, that'll buff out.
You'll be fine.
A little duct tape, a little string, buff it right out.
WD-40 the stiff parts.
Ordered my new window switch today.
Yeah.
Yeah, since the old window, did a little down thing and not going back up deal.
That's not good.
Yeah, my driver's side window switch. It's
It's really not good because it's fucking cold out right now.
yeah, and I was freaking out because I thought the regulator failed, and I'm like, don't tell me my window's stuck down right now.
No.
I'm so happy though. It's okay. Just got to do that. Got to do a lot of stuff. That car's almost paid off, and when it's paid off, it's getting coilovers and
A spoolie boy?
one of the bigger ones. Yeah, one of the bigger ones. I want to be able to make 25 pounds of boost and make power, not air.
Right.
Because at the point I'm at, I can add more boost, but it ain't gonna do nothing. I want to
You lose efficiency at the top end.
Turbo too small.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Volumetric efficiency.
correct. And bigger Turbski will solve that. And I think I'm gonna go ignorant and take a hole saw and cut a hole in my hood, do a hood dump.
Oh boy. Bing bang, bing bang bong.
Do it.
He won't do it.
Make it shoot fire out of the hood.
And that's the thing too is if I do that, I think I'm just gonna straight up not repaint the car. I'm gonna put coilovers on it, not to lower it because I need to replace my suspension. I might lower it an inch or two, but I think I'm just not gonna paint it. I'm either gonna do a bumper, probably a hood dump. I can do a fender dump
They've
too.
been in the fridge
I can do
for
it because
over an hour and they still don't feel too cold. So
They're good.
I'm sorry.
He'll do good.
wait,
We have not done this one yet.
we haven't. Oh no, we did the other one, the other
Yes.
milk, not the other cow shaped one.
Yeah.
Not this one. Jay, you want to bring us into it since you got it?
Okay. What we got here is
No, Josh, I'm actually thinking about getting the B&R S5 or S4 or whatever their latest B&R turbo they have, and I'm gonna just do like a conservative tune on it. I just want to choke out some more power out of my car.
all right, ladies and gentlemen. What we got here is J-Dubs Brewing Company Bell Cow Milk Chocolate Porter.
Hopefully it doesn't taste like Jake does poolside.
There's nothing fancy about this one, unless of
It's got
course
a
you
strong
consider
smell to it.
a generous portion of high quality chocolate fancy. Oh, and we added a nice amount of lactose to give this beer a touch of sweetness. Resting on balanced portions of chocolate, crystal, and black malts,
That's actually really good to know.
as well as a touch of flaked oats. At the bar stool or on the farm, we hope you enjoy our milk chocolate porter. Moo.
You know, I feel bad for the beer guy who's lactose intolerant and didn't read.
Right.
But you know what's weird though is like we have a chocolate that's not a stout.
Hold on.
Like normally the chocolates are always stouts.
No, it's a porter this time.
I know, that's why I'm pretty excited about this. And it does have a really strong cocoa smell.
The cocoa and the milk. I'm smelling the milk.
Yeah, I can
Cheers.
smell the milk too.
Cheers.
Oh yeah,
cheers,
no, it smells like straight up choco
and
milk.
cheers.
Alright.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
Oh
that
yeah.
tastes straight on like chocolate
It's
milk.
chocolate milk, bro. There's not even a beer bite on the end.
Oh!
That is straight on chocolate
That's
milk.
chocolate milk.
It's Yoo-Hoo beer. I love it.
Dude, that's stellar.
Very good.
It's only
Oh.
5.6%.
I
Oh.
like that.
Hold on, that's straight on chocolate milk.
I like that a lot. That's
yeah.
wow.
I gotta pee. That is really good.
Very good.
Oh.
So it's a nice smooth porter underneath,
Yep.
right? Like it's a good smooth, rich
It tastes
beer.
like you made the perfect mixture of milk and like cocoa powder.
Right.
Yep.
And then on top you have that perfect Yoo-Hoo chocolate milk flavor.
Yeah.
Like
It's-
that's nailed it. J-Dubs, guys. Cheers to that.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that is fantastic.
Everybody thinks it tastes exactly like chocolate milk, and
Yep.
Dan just knocked over everything on my coffee.
I mean, it's
Oh, no.
really perfect chocolate
This is
beer.
perfect. It is.
I have yet to have a chocolate flavored beer that I liked until now. Like,
Well, see, I really
we've
like
had
the
ones that
other
had
one.
notes, but
Which one, the Moohoo?
Oh, yeah.
The Terrapin Moohoo.
Yeah, the Terrapin Moohoo I liked a lot.
I like
remember
that
that
one, but
one.
I think I like this one better than the Moohoo, to be honest.
I don't remember the Terrapin Moohoo. Did we have that on the show, or did you guys
Yeah, I
have that
brought it.
separately?
Yeah,
I brought it.
we had
We
it
brought it a couple
separately,
weeks
then we
ago.
brought it.
I don't remember.
Because here lately, dude, I've been like on the milk and the chocolate ones, dude. I've been like, man, this is like really starting to gravitate towards being my favorite type of beer right now. And
This is good.
I
It's so
saw it.
tasty.
I saw it what last week when I told you about
Yeah.
it. I saw it last week, and I'm like, I gotta check this out. I'm digging it.
This is
There
good.
was, and I'm glad I didn't grab it now because it would have been 2 chocolate beers. But I actually saw one at ABC in Crystal River, and it's a 4-pack, 8-ounce cans. It was $14, but it's a nitro.
Oh,
Chocolate milk.
Chocolate, yeah, it's from Colorado.
Yes.
Yes, because I almost had that in my hand tonight too.
Oh, that reminds me. So our favorite extremely hard pour beer, the Nitro Blue.
Left Hand Brewing's Nitro Milk Stout.
Yep. My brother-in-law texted me the other day. They have a new one. It's their Nitro Blue Milk Stout Peanut Butter.
Ooh.
Milk Stout Peanut Butter. And it's the Left Hand, so you know it's fucking good because I have not had a single thing from fucking Left Hand that is not
We might
amazing.
have to find that and grab it.
If anything, I can let him know, and I know that's down in Spring Hill. We got it from the one store right over there by his house.
Yeah.
So if anything, I can have him get
Have
me a
him get a
six-pack,
six-pack of it.
and when I go down, because I gotta go detail my sister's car anyway, so I can, or if I go down there, and I'll pick it up for next time. So, hey, Dan, I was just telling them about remember the Left Hand Nitro Milk Stout?
Yeah.
And that,
Hey, Brian.
they got a new seasonal one that's their Left Hand Milk
Hi,
Stout
Brian.
that is peanut butter. Yes. So, my brother-in-law found it down in Spring Hill at his local thing, so either I'll have him pick me up a 6-pack of it, or
You know,
the next time
ever
I go
since
down
you
there,
gave me
I'll
that
get it.
peanut, you know how I'm about peanut butter beers. Ever since you gave me that one,
And you liked it.
Yeah, I love peanut butter
I
beers,
know,
man.
but
love
it's just the
peanut
thing
butter
is
I
we
like
have
peanut
not had a
butter
bad
beers.
thing from Left Hand at all.
No.
I mean, that was one of the best beers where literally you pop the top and you put it in your glass up at here and you just let it go and you're like, this is blasphemy. And then you watched it and you're like, oh my god.
Right.
This,
I really think that might be one episode. I think we have to revisit, like actually get some of our favorite ones and redo them again.
You do.
Because you gotta think about how many we've had. Because that's one of them that
it's
I would.
crazy when you
that-
think about how many we've had.
That is one of them that I would love to revisit.
Right.
That,
Me and Mike were talking about that today. We were talking about getting beer, and I'm like, dude,
I'm like, yeah, we've done
We've
almost
done.
95. Well, Brian's the one that
y'all
always keeps
breweries need to
tabs.
step it up and
Yeah, Brian's always the one that keeps tabs about it. But if you gotta
Mhm.
think about it, we're at about 90.
Yeah.
If not more than 90 beers that in the last year and a half.
And that
we've tried.
reminds me too, is like every time we start talking about it, we say it too. And if there's any breweries that catch wind of this out there, we'll try your beer. If you have something that you're thinking about, even something you're not going to think about releasing,
We'll try it.
we'll
Right.
try
You
anything.
know.
Send us a 6-pack and we will taste. We'll
We
beta
will,
test.
we
for
will
you.
buy it from you. Not even just send it to us for free. We will buy it from you.
We love trying new beers.
And
That's one thing
but-
that
and it's one of those like. I know most of us aren't IPA fans. There's some IPAs I can stand in that.
By most, he means
But-
everybody but me.
But it's getting to the point where, like I said today, we might need to start getting into some IPAs because we're almost out of any other stuff locally that we can get. So we might need to
Some
start diving
IPAs,
into the.
some IPAs are pretty good. Some IPAs
Well,
be surprising.
and you have seen some of the ones that we have brought where I'm like, fuck that, or this is an IPA. Really? And you go, really? Okay, I can dig this. I mean, I can't have more than one or two, but I can dig this. This is decent. So I would love to get some new shit like that. Who's talking?
Brian, he said he hasn't updated the list since the first episode of the year. We'll be able to do that. We have it all logged.
Yeah.
Right.
So It's okay. You've been recovering, Brian.
Oh, hey Brian, just to let you know, I do have on top of my fridge that I'm saving for you, so you know I can't reach it. It is a 6-pack of Key Billies, so when you get better, I got that for you.
I also have a 5-pack of it for him at my house.
Look at that.
Yeah, I also
Well,
got
it was. I want Brian to understand something. I went up there. I saw that they were
Yep.
closing.
Yep.
I went up there to go buy a bunch of beer for me.
Yep.
Like I was like, I'm gonna go stock up on a couple of beers here, right? They had nothing left. They had one 2-door cooler.
See,
that
Sabrina and her mom went must have been like a week before because they still had all their beers, and I was on the phone for 35 minutes. She's like, okay, they got this, and this. I'm like, no, okay, next cooler. This, and this. All right, read me the back of this one. Read me the back of that one. And she ended up getting me a 6-pack of their Robonaut Red. And at the Play Linda, I got a 6-pack of that in their fridge outside, and that is by far my favorite beer, period. So that's a special occasion beer. And then she found the last 6-pack there that day of the Key Billy. And so I'm like, buy it. She's like, do you want it? I'm like, I want it, but I'm not going to drink it. I'm going to save it for Brian.
There's actually, they had Marker 48's Red Right Return in cans at ABC again. But I went there, they had one 6-pack of Key Billy. They had one 6-pack of some other I think the Cherry Goes.
Yeah.
And then they had a whole bunch of their weird kombucha beers, and no one had taken them.
Wait, hold on. They make kombucha
Yeah.
beer?
Yes.
Really?
I almost bought a 6-pack
I
once
kind of would be interested.
just to bring it here to be
Okay.
like, haha, fuckers, you gotta drink it now.
Weird fact, I actually like kombucha tea.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a type of mushroom.
Yeah,
the
it's fungus beer.
Yeah. You know, the system of announcing, the kombucha mushroom people.
But yeah,
But anyway, no.
I grabbed that 6-pack and went, I'm buying 5 of these for Brian.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have one, and then the rest are for Brian, because I know it's his favorite beer, and we may never see it again.
Yeah.
No.
Oh no, I know places where we can get it.
You do still know
There will
places
be.
to get
We
it.
will
Up in
find.
Gainesville, we can find it.
Marker
yeah, World of
48,
Beer.
and I wish they'd put it in a fucking can, dude. Marker's 48's got this fucking marshmallow. I think it's
Oh
called,
my god!
marshmallow?
It was
it's,
fucking
it's
amazing.
called
It was-
marshmallow or something
It's like
that.
a chocolate marshmallow beer, and it was seriously like
You're
you were
intriguing
drinking.
me.
It was like you were drinking a hot chocolate with a shit ton of
The
marshmallow.
Whoa,
marshmallow
really?
top, dude.
And then they also had a pineapple Heffenweiser
yeah.
that was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I just had a funky Buddha.
It was only 4%, but Jesus fucking Christ, that was amazing.
Once
I just
once
had
I-
a Funky Buddha pineapple Hefeweizen that was pretty good.
I was actually thinking about getting that the other day, and I didn't, and I don't
No,
know
I know
why.
what I know
But
what
I know
you're
what you were
talking about.
talking
Wasn't
about.
bad at all.
I like pineapple beer. Ever since that one by the Hawaiian,
Yeah. Well,
the Hawaiian one's the Kona.
Konas.
Yeah, they have a pineapple beer, and I didn't know if I'd like pineapple and beer until I tried one of
Well,
those.
see, that's the thing. Like ABC runs sales on the Kona. If y'all haven't tried a Kona brand
Big
beer,
Wave, even just a Kona
And
Big
then-
Wave for
Kona
you,
Big
for
Wave is
Norm-
good.
the
normally,
generic beer
when
drinker.
when you go to places, a Kona 6-pack is $8.99 or $9.99.
You know,
and
it's
that,
all the time.
if you have an ABC close to you, I know ours does it a lot. Like a lot of times they go on sale for $7.99, but you can catch it just like the 6-packs of Landshark. You can catch it for $4.99 for a 6-pack.
and when
and
that's
when it
happening,
does
it's usually
that,
buy
I-
one get one at Publix too.
Yeah. So at the same time, I'll go and I'll get the regular lager that they have, which is fuck it. It has
The longboard.
The longboard.
Oh, yeah.
Kona longboard is one of those. It's
That's a really damn good lager.
It's a beer, but it's like you drinking like.
Like this
yeah,
is a
it's,
beer.
It's a beer, but that's a damn good beer. Like it's just.
it's
there's-
the beeriest beer
There's
the
no
beer.
extra flavors of it. It's just
It's straight lager.
beer, but
Yeah.
you're like, that's a good beer.
Well,
And then
they
all their
also-
other shit, their Fire Rock.
I've had
IPA.
every single one of them.
The
Fire Rock
Fire
IPA, I've
Rock
had the Island IPA.
is one of the
It's actually really good.
IPAs that and Chris, you would actually like it. That is an IPA I will actually drink.
Yeah.
Fun fact,
Because it's
apparently,
not too much. It's just the perfect amount of extra hoppiness, but not overboard, and it's good.
but you want to hear your fun fact for why they call it Fire Rock? Apparently, the carbonation filtering they use is from lava rocks, and that's how
Fucking awesome.
and that's how they make the filtration for that one. That's why they call it Fire Rock. But
So yeah,
that
everybody
stuff
check
is
out
good, though.
check out Kona Brewery. Brewing. They have really good stuff.
You know what? Speaking of brewing, actually, I have a kind of quick beer thing before we go into the triangles.
Well, we're all about beer,
beer.
so.
I wanna express my condolences to Milwaukee Brewing.
Oh.
If you guys didn't see what happened, somebody went on a rampage there.
Well, because they were doing their free beer thing on for the leap.
It was somebody who worked there.
There's somebody who worked there,
they were gonna do a free beer, a free 6-pack for anybody who was like part of their, like you just had to go to their website and sign up type deal, and you could get a free 6-pack on the 29th, the leap year day, and that. And then apparently, I just saw before we started.
Some guy who worked there, he killed 5 people and then killed himself.
Yeah.
And they shut down the brewery, and that's who makes Coors and Milwaukee Best. Yeah, and they shut down that.
Yep.
You mean they're not making Coors right now?
For the next week and a half or 2 weeks.
We gotta go to Texarkana.
Eastbound and down, loaded up.
Copyright.
Oh,
copyright.
One more quick thing. I want to talk about something really quick. I remember just now the old coronavirus.
Oh.
Not only
That's beer.
No, not only
hold on,
is it
that
factual
that is why I only drink Modelo's.
but it's not only factual that Corona sales have gone down 40% since the announcement of the coronavirus.
The reason why is because Americans are so stupid that we don't realize that Corona beer comes from Mexico and does not include China, and they think that Corona beer said,
You know how hard it's starting to get some parts?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hell, I just got my new phone case the other day, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to put this on. I started coughing. I'm like, fuck, I'm dying.
I don't know, but I have a new comeback for people that say, hey, can you do this for me? I'd rather go to fucking Wuhan, China and lick doorknobs, to be honest with you, but...
But
actually,
we've had a couple companies though that have told us that they can't send us parts right now because the warehouses in China are shut down because of the coronavirus.
Yep. And that's a big thing. Like a lot of the big electronic things, the shows and all that, like the Beijing.
Oh yeah, like
show,
that one gaming convention coming.
It's the biggest thing in the world.
Microsoft pulled out
completely.
Yep.
Sony pulled out completely. Like I also gotta say I saw a thing right before we started that apparently it's now starting. Sorry guys, we're getting kind of we're
totally off topic.
It's not political.
Are you
but
surprised though?
World
not
news,
even related to
that. It's actually starting to spread to pets. That there has been a couple.
It originates
pets,
from pets actually.
There's actually a couple pets that people who have the coronavirus have now started to get it.
The coronavirus actually originated in animals. It's actually been around, but anyway, it's a good thing that coronavirus isn't where what we're talking about is coming from, though, because we should probably move into our shapes. We're doing some basic geometry tonight.
Hold on. As of right now, all I hear is Godzilla's theme song popping up.
Copyright.
Oh
So-
no! There goes Wuhan. There goes coronavirus.
So tonight's automotive topic. I'm gonna quote the regular car reviews guy. Triangles, 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 triangles,
New York State.
triangles, triangles,
Triangles.
Hold on.
Triangles.
No, it's triangles, in an oval pattern. Triangles, in an oval pattern.
So anyway, we're
talking about Apex Seals.
We're talking about the not necessarily rotary powered vehicles, but the one and the only thing that everybody knows when it comes to rotary, the RX-7.
It goes together. You say rotary, you think RX-7.
Yes.
You say Mazda, you think RX-7.
We can think Miata, then RX-7.
Well, the RX-7's like the grown-up Miata.
I know.
But
And
tonight,
the last thing on your mind is the MX-6.
yeah.
I don't know, when you talk about, when someone brings up rotary, though, because I don't...
All I think about on rotary is I think about Nick's fucking...
Truck?
Nick's...
I got a 13B sitting in my garage right now.
When I hear
Is the
rotary,
flywheel still stuck to it?
It's good. I'm taking it to the shop tomorrow, actually. I was gonna put it in my car tonight, but I'm gonna pick it up and put it in there tomorrow. I'm actually taking it to the shop.
I don't know, maybe because I'm older, but when someone says rotary, I go older and think RX-3.
Oh, and that's the thing. I was gonna talk about that too, but and being the Mazda fanboy I am, I actually don't know much about the history of the. I know like how the rotary came into Mazda, but I just want to talk about the RX-7 because that's
Yeah,
kind of what that's
I-
what kicked
we,
it. That's
we,
what kicked
we
it
can
off
have
for
a
everyone.
very solid discussion just about RX-7, all three generations of it, including the RX-8. Can we include the RX-8? Cause
We'll include
Yes.
the RX-8. We'll and
We have to have
and-
something to make fun of.
And Brian, our fourth member who is recovering right now, it
Had an
just mentioned.
RX,
Well, he just mentioned
FB,
about his
yeah.
FB RX-7, which
And
that
trust me, Brian, when we get into the FB, I got many, not motor things, but interior things I
Well,
want to talk about.
and that's what brings us right in. So the I believe it was the RX-3 was the last RX until the RX-7, or maybe the RX-4 or loose or whatever you want to call it. But in '79, Mazda decided to come out with the RX-7 once
Yep.
again, and they'd used the 12A before.
Popping down headlights.
Yep.
But basically, in '79, you got this car. It kind of looks something like a Porsche 928, but or
Yeah.
did a Porsche
But
928 look like it? Or
of
924,
a,
sorry.
More of a wedge.
More of a
shape.
wedge.
Yeah.
And in '79, they had the cool rear end that I like,
Yeah.
and 80-mile-an-hour speedometer
Yep.
with I think it was like 100 horsepower, 1.1 liter 12A carbureted rotary.
Yep.
And boy, was it glorious because you could get a GSL, you could have a limited slip rear end.
No,
You,
GSL
What?
SE.
well, no, we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get to the GSL SC. You had a couple, and it was RX-3, RX-4, and the Cosmo. Okay, thank you, Brian. I wasn't quite 100% sure on that, but not only did you have this awesome little sports car coming out from Mazda that was rotary powered that everybody was all excited about again, but you had a car that competed with everything else and came with such well equipment.
Oh, yeah.
Like one of the best things about it.
The
stereo!
head!
Yes, the
Oh
stereo!
my god, the stereo
Oh my
in that
was
thing. You look like, and
10
that is,
band graphic equalizer.
it's
in that
one of
fucking
those, that
thing.
is my favorite things about the
Fabulous.
first generation RX-7. No matter, actually any RX-7 is the FBs. You look at that head unit and the way it was set up. You had a glorious stainless steel brushed aluminum looking thing, and it was just like this
Oh, the
huge
SE
thing.
did not till '84. Okay.
And it was just, you had, the tuner, you had a cassette player, and then all these knobs, and then below it, you had a 10-channel fucking equalizer.
Yep.
That wasn't a turn knob. It was all like
It was
home
all
stereo
dials.
fucking dials.
Sliders.
And
you
Slider,
look,
slider,
and you
slider,
look,
slider,
and
a,
you
slider.
look
and a
at
suicide hood.
it, and you stare at it, and you're like,
And it
you're
had
in the
that,
cockpit, and you're like, I got these gauges and that, but you look down and you're like, I
It was
mean
glorious.
business.
And
Just by this, Porsches didn't have a stereo
No.
that
No.
nice. Nothing of that era had a stereo that nice.
And-
Fight me about it.
and when they went full production from '79 to '85 with the FB, it was, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was the most mass-produced RX car.
Yep.
They made just under 500,000 of
Yep.
them, if I'm not mistaken, and they hit hard, and they still do to this
Yeah,
day,
oh, God.
and
They had
still
some of the
retain
best
their
looking
value.
wheels too. You also could get the fucking rotary wheels on
Yep,
them.
you can get and they had some
The
of the best
four-
combinations.
We had the 14-inch fucking rotary wheels, which was a fucking rotor in a circle, and it was the same shit. Like,
And Brian's was an '83 GSL. It came with the 390 LSD,
Yeah.
and he had rear disc brakes in his, which
that was
that-
the limited slip, rear disc brakes, and that.
and a super light,
Yeah.
extremely balanced car that could rev high, do what you needed to when you wanted it, and made awesome sounds.
And I'm
Yep.
gonna say this with sounds, Brian. I'm gonna tell you a story. I know you said it before, but since we're talking about it, you're not here. Brian, when he had his, he had the cats out and that, and it was basically straight pipe with the muffler and that. He was in traffic coming back from Tarpon Springs with some two-legged days when he was able to drive stick and that. Well, you can still drive stick, but this was in his younger two-legged days before the CRX and that. And he had an M3 on his ass that kept on weaving in and out of traffic to get behind him and that. He was at a light and the M3 was on his ass. Like, there was no room. So at the light, just and his flames shooting like crazy. He pulled away from the light slowly. In his rearview mirror, the whole wherever side is also, I think it was passenger side, was solid black from soot.
Nice.
Of just him going
My dad had an '84 when I was a kid, and it was brown on brown, but it had that glorious fucking head.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Stereo
Well,
system
Brian
and
just
everything.
said-
Brian, did I tell your story right? I think I did.
Brian said the silver head unit came in the '84. Before that, they featured a black head unit and a joystick
Oh,
equalizer.
yep. You
Yep.
could do the whole thing. It was like playing a fucking Atari. You're like,
And in '85, and if I'm not mistaken,
That's when you
and if I'm not mistaken,
the five letter.
the 5-letter, which
The
is
five
which
letter.
everybody says that is a GSL SE,
SE.
which the GSL SE did
Was
not come with a 12A. It came with the first
13
fuel injected
13B.
13B, and that is
That was
what.
the top of the line. That was as luxury. That's the in there. That was the luxury model.
And
You
you
had
got-
every single fucking option in that car.
He said you got it right.
Yes, I did.
And-
Especially with that.
But yeah, the GSL SE, that was the cherry. You got the limited slip rear end, you got the disc brakes, you got everything you could ever want in a fuel injected 13B that you didn't have to choke. And
What's wrong with choking?
there ain't nothing wrong with choking. I have a carbureted vehicle, so I.
It's awesome. There's no. I
There ain't
love.
no- there ain't no-
I love my fuel injection, but there's nothing like getting in a car in the morning going. Set the choke. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
see,
when you
it
pull
was-
the choke, does it say harder, Daddy?
But,
Yeah.
but it wasn't that easy with the rotary.
No, it wasn't.
No, not at all.
No.
Even
No.
fuel injected, the rotary was difficult to start.
Yeah.
Hold on. This is my interpretation of a rotary starting.
No, you no.
Hold on.
Wait,
Start
are you
getting
there?
hot. Start getting
You
hot.
gotta wait.
Give it a
All
minute.
right, hold on. No.
You're missing a key point, though. You are missing a key point here, though. As you're doing the, it starts going bum, 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 bum,
Like an old fucking 12-valve Cummins.
Well, the other thing
Listen to an old fucking tractor
The other
start.
thing you gotta remember though is that we're also a rotary and we have weird things with our compression and we don't have pistons. And
Well, you also got a rotary that isn't just spinning like this. It goes.
And the noise that we
it
make.
is fully doing the Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to
Yeah.
fuck with
But-
thing going on there.
They have the most weirdest sounding startups because you don't get the where you get the because the motor's not turning over that and there's
Yeah.
not much compression happening.
Right.
And you can and like you said you can hear the compression happening.
The funnest thing is grabbing the belts and it's like, hey, let's just.
Well, and it's an
Uh-huh.
example. Okay, you can walk into the 13B in my garage and grab a bolt on the flywheel and go like this, and you
Yeah.
can hear it go. Pop, 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 pop. It's
And
that
that's-
easy
and
to
that's
turn.
why it's one of those where it's not like cars where you can leave it in the first gear when you parked on the hill. You really have to make sure your fucking e-brake's working
Yep.
because even
Brian
leaving
said
it
he
in
never
gear,
had starting
it'll
issues.
straight on roll down the hill going.
Brian said his car was a unicorn because it never had starting issues.
You are the lucky only RX-7 owner.
But now we talk about the 13B, and that brings us into
Brings us
1986.
into our next beer.
The year I had.
Hold on, what beer are we taking?
The Porsche 920. I mean the Mazda RX-7.
What beer are we getting?
The next one.
The next one.
The brew bus.
Yep, I dated a girl in high school that had an FC.
I had a 1986 FC
It
base
was
model.
automatic though.
Base model, stick, hardtop, no sunroof. It had been swapped to 5-lug. And it was running Tokiko shocks and struts all the way around.
Also had a 5.0.
Bye, Brian.
Brian leaving?
Bye, Brian.
Bye, Brian. Have a good night, buddy. We love you. Bye.
And I got to drive it twice. 2 glorious drives before it exploded.
Where went Kapoya?
Yeah,
I got the drivetrain.
now,
Really?
I did.
That's
Out of
it.
that car.
Oh,
yep.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it
Out of that
wasn't
car.
the car's fault that
No.
it exploded.
I can
Operator error.
I can attest to the smoking.
So, there's a thing about S1 FCs.
That's
the
a-
secondary or the secondary fuel rails
Yes.
have a pulsation damper
Yep.
on the end of them,
Yep.
and they're known to leak
Profusely.
badly. I saw that I had a leak at that particular spot. Realized I needed to do something about it because I didn't want the car to
Explode.
catch on fire or explode. So I took the fuel rail off, and I had somebody basically. What it is was the fuel rail was stamped steel, and they crimped the other side of it on, and it would start to leak around that crimp. So I had somebody braze weld it. No big deal, right? Sealed up now, good, right? We're fine. I didn't think about the fact that there's a rubber diaphragm in there.
Uh-oh.
So when it got brazed, that rubber diaphragm burned up, and when it burned up, it turned to powder, got into the fuel injectors, and clogged. Anybody that's ever owned a rotary will tell you, rotaries are the most reliable things on the face of the earth,
To
as
fail.
long as the supporting equipment is good. You can't run a rotary lean, because if you run a rotary lean, it will get pre-ignition, and it will destroy itself, and that's what happened.
And
Which
I
is
can
why you
attest to
always
this
wanna
because
run one rich.
I can attest to it because I had the drivetrain out of that vehicle, and yes, it was very fucked, and yes, there was a charbroiled spot on it, and that happened, and that was a big problem, and still is to
If
this
you
day
open-
with
hey.
FCs.
If you open one, we'll finish it later.
I was
And-
going to save it for Brian, but...
Oh, okay. Here.
There's a
Oh,
little
I
bit
thought.
left in there.
Oh, I didn't know you
Hold
were.
on. Yeah, here. Pour some of this in here.
Yeah, I didn't know you were doing that, man. I wouldn't have
Yeah,
full. I wouldn't have full board.
It's cool.
You sure?
I'm good. I don't
Okay.
want to drink too much because I do have to drive.
Well, before we run into this one, I just want to mention that was that was a big problem. It still is a big problem, and we'll get more into the FCs after this beer because we.
All right, guys.
I
So
want
this is the one I brought for the night. This is one of my favorite brewers because they make the best red that I've ever had.
Look at
This
the
is
horns
Brew
in
Bus.
the head.
This is a specialty one called Tangerine Splash. It is a Belgian-style wit beer.
Have we had this one before?
We have not had this one before. This is brand new.
Oh boys,
Take a sip of the Sunshine State with a Belgian twist. Florida-grown tangerines give a splash of citrus to this light-bodied wheat beer, spiced with coriander and chamomile flowers. So, here we go, guys.
boys. There's
Brew
floaties.
Bus,
Boys,
Tangerine
they're-
Splash.
they're
Oh, I got,
floaties.
It's a
look
wit
at my-
beer.
well, yeah, look
You
at
got
my
orange
floaties.
in your
I
head.
got straight on orange.
It's,
in my
oh,
head.
yeah. It's a wit beer,
boy.
bro.
Oh, yeah.
This is gonna be good. I got all the floaties from the bottom of y'all. So.
Oh, I'm stoked. Let's die. Oh,
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, my friend. Here we go.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Have I
Dude,
ever
the
told you
finish
I
is
lo-
orange juice.
yes.
Have I ever told you I love this show?
Oh my god, I do too.
God.
Oh.
I'm so happy we started this shit because of this.
I'm going to get another 4-pack of this.
I'm
'Cause
going
y'all-
to, too.
Y'all know I'm a straight on alcoholic.
I'm
love
going.
No.
I listen.
Alcoholics go to meetings. We're drunks. We like to party.
Woo!
You know, Brian will say this. I've seen Mike say this. I've
Oh.
heard Dan say this. I've heard Will say this. I've never said this before. I'm going back to the store tomorrow to get another 4-pack of this.
Oh my god.
This is
You
fantastic.
Fucking cheers
hey,
to
you
that.
got
This
this
is
at
really
Crystal
good,
River,
sir.
right?
It's Brew Bus, man.
Crystal River?
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
do
Give
back
me another
there.
We've
Will.
had-
That's worth it.
Rolling Dirty. We've had my boy Blue. You're my boy Blue.
And I'm not a blueberry person. That was fucking good.
They've yet to. They don't go
Yeah,
wrong with
no.
their beers.
Dude,
Every
that's
beer they've ever done.
Brew Bus, I have not had a beer from them that I'm disappointed with because I thought I was gonna be disappointed with the You're My Boy Blue because I'm
That's
not
really
a
good,
blueberry fan.
Well-
I like
No,
them,
sir.
but like not too much. That blueberry from fucking You're My Boy Blue was fucking amazing.
And on this one too, to go with the everybody who's not like super cultured with beers, this is basically like a Blue Moon. It's a soft Belgian white though. The Belgian white part is super smooth and it just finishes off literally like you
It's
finish
like
a
Blue
sip of-
Moon with the orange already added in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is
But
good
proper,
because
yeah.
Blue Moon makes me fight bitches.
But it tastes like it's you start off with a Blue Moon but smoother, and then you end with orange juice.
Yeah.
So
It's
it's the thing.
fantastic. It
No,
is.
you literally.
I mean,
add
I'm even getting
orange
the acidity on my tongue.
Yeah.
You add pulped orange juice to a Blue Moon.
Man, that's
Yeah.
fucking good.
God, that was good.
So the FCRX7, there's many more.
Isn't as good as this beer.
I also, my wife and I have 87 RX7 GXL, which was the
Still hasn't run.
Well, it doesn't have an engine.
There's nothing in it.
It doesn't have an anything.
It had a 350 swap for a couple days.
It did have a 350
It
spot
did.
for a couple days. But the GXL in the times of the FCRX7, which were from 86 to 91, in America at least, the GXL,
Too.
I think it might have been 92. But the GXL was the step below the Turbo 2. The GXL came with electronic controlled suspension.
Yep.
You had sport mode and standard.
Yep.
It had a moonroof.
Steel moonroof.
Steel moonroof, yep. ABS, four-wheel disc brakes, and a limited slip differential.
Not as cool as the head unit.
How many trim levels were with the
Oh, you-
FC?
There,
With the- with the
was
FC
3.
Yeah, you had the RX-7 base, and in the beginning years you had the RX-7 base, GXL, and you had the Turbo 2. Then you had the RX-7 base, the GXL, the GTU, and then the Turbo 2 and the GTU-L.
You also
And then you got
had
to add in
GS
your 2+2s all in there
Yeah.
too.
You had GSLs in there too, with the FCs.
The GSL was, I think that was the base model.
Yeah.
It was the base
Yeah.
model.
Yeah.
But we have one of those, and that blue interior, white on the outside, and the bluest blue interior you could imagine.
Oh yeah.
And FC was probably the second most mass-produced and the most well-known in the RX community. And with that, you got your standard 13B. You had two different sections of it. We upgraded a little bit from our fuel injection from the 13B from the GSL SC. You have different porting now.
Yep.
You have secondary fuel injectors now, and a little bit more power. And in the beginning, which was 1985 to 1988, yeah, you had the S4, which the S4 had the 13B and the 13B Turbo 2, and they switched porting, and I believe they also switched a couple other things with fueling and the Apex seals.
I think
And they
also
had-
bigger fuel pump.
Yeah, and they had the S5, which the S5
Had
made
the bigger. That had the bigger fuel pump.
And it made-
had
it-
better
yeah.
injectors.
it made more power.
Yeah.
And you had a different intake
I
manifold
think it
set
was
up.
a little couple millimeters
And you know-
more throttle body on
Yeah,
it.
and you also didn't have your fuel leak on the S5.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then,
But I also gotta say, with the Turbo 2s, again, one of the best boats ever. Just
Yep.
with the
and
way
functional,
that was.
and
Yeah,
functional, and functional.
But also the fact that locally here to us in our small ass fucking boat,
Oh, that maroon one.
there is
that
I've
dark
seen
red one.
2 now. There's the one dark red one
I've
in
seen-
the middle of the county
I've
that
seen
has
him
the old
plenty of times.
that has the older gentleman
Yep.
that drives it around,
Yep.
that puts it around, that it's amazing condition, that Brian is one that's seen it and all that stuff, and I've seen it many times. I've also passed one on 581 that is the lighter red with Nova on the front.
Really?
That is an older white guy driving it that gets on that thing.
Haven't
'Cause I
seen that
tried
one
to
yet.
pass him coming down because I'm like, oh, he's doing 45, the speed limit's 45. We do like 70 through here. I put on my blinker, downshifted to fourth, went to go around him. I get next to him, he guns it.
He
And
said,
I'm
"You
like-
ready?"
Nope. There you go. I threw a thumbs up out the window. He did a thumbs up through the moonroof. And we kept on going. I'm like, good day, sir.
And now
I'm
we
like,
go.
It's one of those. I'm like, I knew I could have passed him, but just the fact that he downshifted and got onto it, and I saw the giggle in his face, I'm like, nope. I got back behind him on the 2-lane road. Thumbs up. You go, sir.
And
I'll follow you. I'll run blocker for you.
And
Let's go.
Speaking of the FC, as we move to the bastard child of the FC, the RX-7 convertible.
I like them.
It's either you love them or hate them.
I
I
like
don't think
them.
there's an in between. Like, yeah,
I
they're
like them. It's
okay,
kind of like the
but-
convertible 240.
Hey, Will.
I like them.
Hey, Will, have you driven an FC before?
Yes.
Okay. Have you driven the FC convertible as well?
Negative.
Okay. You driven an FC, right?
Yes.
You know how fucking close your head comes?
Yes.
You don't in the convertible.
No?
I do. I'm fine.
Yeah,
I
you're
like
fine
convertible.
because
You're short. You're fine. I almost bought an FC convertible. I've known many people with FC convertibles. I've seen them. A, nowhere near structurally rigid. B, terrible hood room. C, we made the tops out of this China shit that rots away. But we move into the other cool part.
At that same point, you just described every single convertible Fox body.
Fair enough.
Well, any
You just
convertible.
described every single convertible Fox body.
We're talking about the JDM
Hold
convertible.
on.
I know, but I'm
body.
just saying
I
that
have
is
to
a
interrupt
convertible
everyone
Fox
here for
body.
a second. I have to interrupt and say that you just described every convertible in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
But the cool thing was, is you
Pretty
could still
much.
get a convertible with a turbo too. Extremely rare option. They're hard to find, but you could find them. And the other cool part about the convertible, though, it wasn't just a convertible.
You could get the hardtop convertible.
Well, it wasn't a hard top, but you
It
could
was
get
a
the
hard
Hollywood
top,
top
yeah.
convertible.
Yeah.
The Hollywood top convertible had a semi-hard rear section and a hard top. And you could either put the whole thing down, or you can make it like a Targa top. And another thing, there has been 3 so far that I've ever found done, but you'll have to look this up because it looks badass. But 3 people have taken convertibles and welded the coupe
Yep.
roof on it.
Yep.
Think of a notchback.
I bet that looks fucking good.
Think of
I
like
got-
a notchback 240. They're hard to find. You'll be lucky. Just look up a convert. Like it's going to be hard to find.
Again,
There's only been 3
okay,
done.
So
But
can I run this in there too, with the fact of a convertible with a performance option? Okay, in '83 and '84, before the SVOs, you could get the convertible Mustang GT that had the 2.3 turbo on it. It
Yep.
was a GT turbo. It was only available in '83 and '84, and that was that. But then again, also in
about
'95.
no, there's one white one that's really
one
well
year
done.
only in '95, they made 138 fucking Cobras, which had the 5.0s in it at that time. Convertible hardtops, where it was convertible, but you got a full-on hardtop for it that separates completely from it,
Not that.
and that. And that just reminds the Hollywood top reminds me of that is a straight-on convertible hardtop. Like
Really?
you had a normal convertible top, but then you also had a hard top that bolted in and snapped in places. So yeah, so the RX-7 is well, didn't Shinoda do stuff with the RX-7 or no? Or was that another JDM?
No,
package?
that was no.
No, it was a Celica. It was a Celica. That's why the Celica looked so much. The early Celicas looked so much like a fucking
I
Mustang
don't
too.
care what anybody says. Red Sun's had it now.
Oh yeah.
There's one.
I like that.
That's one of them.
I'm not mad at
See?
that at all.
Yeah. Looks like a 240.
Exactly. But now we're gonna move in to we got into it the last time, the unobtainium RX-7.
Yes.
Well, except for one of our friends.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You're spending $15,000 on a shell
so
with no suspension, no interior. It's been on fire. Here's your 10-second car.
in 1994,
Doesn't come with doors either.
No.
in 1994, which was the mid 90s, which was a crucial time for a lot of cherry JDM masterpieces, we came out
R32 to R33
with the
to
FD
MK4.
RX-7.
Yeah.
Which you could get either in, I think, 3 different packages, being NA, with the automatic or manual, and you can get turbo, automatic or manual.
Or the twin turbo.
No, it's just twin turbo, sorry. Yeah, and sequential twin turbos that faced each other and used the same shaft.
Yep.
Really cool setup, by the way, if you ever want to look into that. And one of the coolest Bose acoustic
Yes.
sound systems
Yeah.
ever to come out with anything. And those cars made 280 something horsepower.
Sure they did.
276. Because every single Japanese car out that time
Yes,
made 276. What's a gentleman's agreement?
Yep.
The R32 GTR, the R33 GTR, the fucking MK4 Super,
And-
RZ.
Yeah, so when you
That-
went to the dealership
everything
to buy
was,
this
it was
car,
276 horsepower because that was a Japanese agreement of the gentleman's agreement of
Yes.
we will not rank any of our cars past 276.
No, we won't
horsepower.
build a car that makes more than 276
It
horsepower.
did,
So
but-
what happened was you went to the dealership and you asked them, how much power does this RX-7 make? And they'd say,
276.
it makes 276 horsepower.
Wink, wink.
Wink.
And if I'm not mistaken,
276? Yes, 276 horsepower.
and if I'm not mistaken, the factory FDs make just shy of 290 to the wheels,
Yeah,
which
so
would
it's
put them at about
like
320.
Yeah, 320 to the flywheel.
And have also been one of the most fabulous vehicles for the flagship of rotary racing.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
they ran the FD up until 2002, not in America, but they ran them up until 2002. And because of one thing that we talked about last time, the FDs have just become unobtainium. And that would be the Fast
And the Furious.
and the Furious.
Yep.
And it is really what's kind of flagship. And not only that, you know,
Which,
the RX-7
luckily,
Legendary
it wasn't
car
the
was the
full-on
last one.
Hero car. It was a hero car, but it wasn't the.
It was kind of
wasn't-
like the villain, but the hero at the same
Well,
time.
you gotta think it was one of those. It was only in the first 15 minutes of the film.
Right.
Right.
And
After that, it wasn't there. So it's not like the
with
Super
noise,
where
with
it
not
did
rotary
everything.
noises put to
Yeah.
it in the movie.
No.
Well,
But also
no,
it was-
wait, hold on, because there was another one that popped up.
The second Fast and Furious.
No,
4,
even after Doms, even after they showed
Oh, yeah.
all the Doms, Race Wars, when Letty went to go race that dude.
Oh,
He
there was
had
there was another one.
the,
With
yeah,
an
the white
FD
one with the
Yep.
HKS fucking banner on
Yep.
the fucking side
And
of it.
that, I have the Hot Wheels actually.
Yep.
But and then that's what and then they brought in Tokyo Drift. We had
Mhm.
the other RX-7, but here's the thing. Is that nobody knew that was an RX-7.
I
Because
know
it
an
had a
RX-7.
crazy
It's
veil
got
side
the
body.
veil
Veil
side.
side body
And,
kit. I
and
was
to
like,
this
that's an
day,
RX-7.
the cheapest veil side body kit you can buy, I believe, is $9,000
Yep.
now.
I will say both of them had a veil side body kit though. Dom's RX-7.
Yep,
had a
Yes,
veil
it did.
side
His
body
did have a
kit
veil
on
side.
it.
It just
A
that was before
more-
the wide body type.
Well,
Yeah.
wait, Too Fast, Too Furious, the red one.
Well, it was orange. It was orange
Oh,
juice,
orange,
and that
yeah.
was like the one like cameo character
Yeah.
that didn't really do nothing.
But it was one of those where
It was definitely there.
we talk about the FDs with body kits. I will say the first Fast and the Furious, the body kit on Dom's
Was perfect.
RX-7.
Oh yeah, that's
is
actually
perfect. It's not too gaudy, but it's not like too subtle. It is the
Mhm.
perfect amount of whether it's red with the fucking thing on the side of it or that, it could be a plain white
Alright.
FD.
Next fun fact.
Seeing that, that's a perfect
you know
perfect body kit.
you know
for that
Dom's
car.
RX-7 isn't a full veil side kit.
Really?
The front
Half and
bumper's
half?
the front bumper
Is
is a
it
Bomex.
Domex?
No, the front
Bomex?
the front bumper is a Bomex.
Bomex? Yeah.
The rest of it's actually a veil
Veil
side.
side.
It's got a June hood on it as well.
You know how I know that?
Forza.
Hold on. We need to talk about something since we're talking about unobtainium RX-7s. There's a special model of the RX-7, and I'm
No, I'll bring you right into it. Whatever. No,
Jukes?
no,
The Jukes
No.
one?
no.
Not
I
the
know what you're
Jukes.
talking about. You can inkling
with
it,
S.
and I'll give you. I'll let you roll a little.
Wait.
no, I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Was it Spirit R?
Or,
Spirit
or,
R.
Spirit R.
Yeah.
or was it
No,
No,
the Spirit
Spirit
R.
R.
Spirit R.
Spirit
The
R.
Spirit
Yep.
R.
With 276 horsepower.
Yes.
And-
Special edition. It was an official
Just-
car.
Yep.
It was sold at
All
Mazda
white.
dealerships.
It was white with black interior.
Yep.
The Mazda RX-7
white gauge
Spirit
Spirit
R.
R.
And you got a
Spirit
separate
R.
boost gauge from the factory. White
Yep.
gauge
Made
face.
With
276 horsepower.
horsepower.
Not
Wink,
sold in
wink.
America.
It was actually 350 something, but it was wink wink.
And the
Dude.
cheapest one that I've ever seen sold went for 76 grand.
Yep,
And it
that
is
was
the
a
most-
beater.
it is
And
the most
Forza
beautiful
Motorsport 4 was the hardest car
Yep.
to obtain because it was a unicorn.
Unicorn. I
Well,
had three
no,
of
it was a
them. I had
unicorn.
three of them.
It was a unicorn in
And
two.
two as well.
Oh yeah, but in
And
4
they also
it
had the
was
Three
back,
it
they
wasn't.
also had the
Three
Bathurst
it
star
wasn't.
as well.
And
And-
two, the unicorn cars were the Spirit R. You had
With the red recaro seats.
O2 fucking
And-
Camaro SS, the 35th anniversary edition. You had the Mines 30
R30.
Evo 6.
Oh, and the
the
Mines
Mines
R35
R30.
too.
And
Yep.
one of the reasons I wanted to bring that up is because talking about Forza, OG Forza, right?
Oh,
When I was when I was playing that on Xbox,
Yep.
I used to
Using the
have.
handbrake as a fucking clutch because you could put it down to 0% and use it as a fucking clutch.
Well, I had a downhill challenge because I used to play from 11 o'clock at night till 6 in the morning every day.
Yep.
I had a downhill challenge. I would
All
be
of us.
on.
Trust
All
me.
of us.
Yeah.
I would be on Fujimi Kyoto,
Yep.
Yeah.
and I had a Spirit R,
Yeah.
and it was A level. Okay, it was just an A level car. It
A
wasn't-
level. Okay, so
It wasn't
people
A
that
class.
have-
It wasn't
hold
S
on.
class. It
People
wasn't
that-
an R built car.
People that have Forza now, A level in the first gen.
That was a street machine.
that was.
That was a
is-
straight up
that
street
is-
car.
Yep.
That is high B's in Forza 7.
It's a
Now,
fucking
what I had done to the
unit, too.
car, it had a Lighten flywheel, it had exhaust, it had the suspension maxed out.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't
Sport
do
tires.
any, and I did the tires.
Not
I
race
didn't
tires,
do
sport
any
tires.
of the
I did sport tires. on
power
mine, too.
mods to it except for the exhaust.
Yep.
That's all I did. And my challenge was this: I used to start a room, and it's anybody who would come in, I would say, pick whatever car you want.
Mhm.
R class, S class, any car you want. I don't care. I'm in an A class RX-7 Spirit R.
Mhm.
Your only win mode is to get down the hill faster than me. If you get down the hill faster than me, you win. If I beat you, I win.
Mhm.
I had a.
And I had somebody one time in a fully built R34 run me down that hill. And when we got to the hairpins, on that first hairpin,
You ain't gonna do it.
I tucked into his rear bumper and I rode him around that hairpin and dipped on him, and he never saw me again. And at the end of that race, he went, "I've never seen anybody do that before. How the fuck did you do that?" And I went, "Spirit R, bro."
Spirit R.
So when Dan gets back,
I had a
I'm
B
gonna bring up
class.
something.
Because I had this move on that turn.
Yeah.
Because you remember it was a slight left.
It was basically an initially downhill.
Yes.
To where it was
I
almost
miss that
it was
track.
al- it was
Like
almost
I had that gutter run
yeah,
basically.
there was
Okay.
basically a gutter run on that.
coming
that
into
no one
coming into
realized.
that slight left, that it was like a what was it about a
85-degree hairpin.
about 85 degrees, yeah. So you cut that 85 left, and then it goes 180 right.
Yep.
What track?
So
Maybe kind of down
I
there.
had this move on
On
that
the first
that
one.
that little kink. I had this move where I could dab brake, turn in, and float the car, and it would float me right through the racing line and be able to pop it around the other way. And I would be on the brakes, drifting sideways, coming into that 180-degree hairpin. And I could carry so much speed into that spot. That was where I always passed people.
My go-to car was that I had a B class A86 that I ran down that freaking
Downhill,
hill,
all
dude.
all motor.
And all motor. It was an all motor
Yep.
B class, dude, and that car would
See,
fly.
Yep.
I had my
down
20,
that
my
hill, dude.
Subaru 22B.
Well, before we get into all that shit, I gotta say, Forza 2, back when you could do the public lobbies and
Yep.
pick your region,
Yep.
and you know this, and I know me, you, and my cousin Brian know this.
We were going.
It
up
would
against-
be midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. At that point, we'd
Mm.
set it to the Japan lobby. At this point, you could only
Oh,
have 8 people. You could
basically
only,
MLG.
you could only have 8 people in a lobby. So it would be us 3. We'd pop into a public lobby, sit on Japan, to where we had no idea what they were talking about. We'd go, "Hi guys," and you'd hear the one person in the lobby that knew some sort of English
That's
go,
it.
"Oh, English guys, hi, we gonna drift. Okay,
Yep.
follow us." And we go as many laps as we could on Tsukuba.
Yep.
Yep.
And it would, the reason I know so much about some of the wonderful Japanese cars and the way I got into them was from talking to the broken English that those guys could talk about
Some of
at
the
3
best
o'clock
fucking-
in the fucking morning, and some of the best fucking drifting action I
Yep.
could ever
Yep.
get was on Forza 2 Japanese lobbies
'Cause
at 3 o'clock in the morning.
We run pretty much the lollipop course on there
Yeah.
Yep.
on
Yeah.
Scuba,
And
where you get up,
turn around
where
like
you
a
get up where
lollipop.
you got
do-
Scuba short, Scuba long, and right at the
You
short,
whip around.
we
You whip
whip
back around.
we whip
So
back
you
around
did-
and go back.
You did the first turn, the hairpins, the
Yeah.
one sharp left hand,
You do
sharp
the big
right
whip
hand,
around
and then
and
you rip around
rip
and you
back
do
around.
it again.
Because I had a
And
I
it'd
had
just
an
be 8 of us
S15.
doing it.
My go-to was an S15 that I had in a Hankook fucking livery on that car. That either the Hankook S15 or I had a I
See,
had
See, I always ran that 05 GT, and I would do that, and we'd be like, oh, he had a Mustang, and we'd do that shit. We'd be like, oh, we need to build one, and then I'd hear all, like, again, in broken English, and it was always just one person that, like, knew enough,
It was
and,
so
like,
good,
we
dude.
start asking
So much fun.
questions. And we knew by the end of the 6 o'clock in the morning when I should be going to school, I'm like, fuck it, I'm not going to school. And I knew what they were
Can't tell
using,
you how many
how they were
marathon
driving
lobbies
it, and then
fucking
also
we ran,
I
dude.
knew what they had in real life,
Mhm.
the amount of tracks that they went to, and that
Yep.
what they drove and all that, and it was like, oh damn, they're really only driving a 105 horsepower car on these tracks in real life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck, those guys are
We had-
awesome.
Dude, it was some of the best lobbies, the best gaming time of my fucking life, dude. Was
And,
back then.
and the thing on our end is that they stopped production of the RX-7 early for us. It just-
It was 2000 for us.
no,
right?
no, it was before. It was like
98,
98. Yeah, it was
It
before they
98.
switched to the
Right
OWL
when they
emblem.
killed off
So
the fucking-
98.
Right
Yeah.
when they killed off the Super, they killed off the RX.
I think it was 97 because it was before the
They
OWL.
ran it. They ran the FD till 02, right?
Well, yeah, but that was in other countries.
Yeah, but
In-
02, right?
Yeah, in America they stopped it before they switched to the OWL emblem, I call it, which is the one they use now, which was 98. So 97 is when they
Yeah.
stopped. But I mean, that's when it became kind of for us unobtainium, and it just became such a cool thing. And I'll never forget the first time I drove an FD, and that was the most amazing. My buddy had got
I
one.
still never even sat in one.
Well, my buddy got one and didn't tell me. And he came, I was working at O'Reilly's at the
Yeah.
time, and he drove up there, and I'm like, oh my god, somebody just pulled up in a red FD? I'm like, they're going to come in here and like laugh at us or something, and then my buddy gets out of the car, and he walks in, and I'm freaking out. And that was the first time I got to drive one, and I will say, oh my god, what an amazing car with the most stupid problems. What a big pile of shit the FD is. Oh my god.
Well, it's a rotary, bro.
But an amazing car, and like a little RX fact from the RX-7 on, it had the annoying beep.
Yeah.
If you know
Yeah.
the beep, when you get into red line, the car likes to remind you should shift. And
Well, it's because you can't feel it.
FDs have a little, all FDs, even the base model, have a little light in the center console that says exhaust overheat warning. When they designed the
'Cause
cars,
it knows that your exhaust is glowing at that point.
well, when they designed the cars, Mazda tried to make them with such a low center of gravity, everything was squeezed. So, like, when you sat in the car, and it was one of those high-rise transmission tunnels, when you're shifting right here, it's because the transmission was right here, and the exhaust was right there.
Yeah.
FDs get very hot inside. If you don't have air conditioning in an FD, you should have your windows down at all times.
Yeah.
Because right now, if you owned an FD and you started it and let it run for 10 minutes, it'd be baking inside of the car.
Yeah.
The door handles fail. The
Yeah.
gauge clusters fail. Ridiculously, the gauge clusters fail.
Sounds like a early 90s GM.
No, they just do nothing. They don't. They just
They
do.
don't do the ba- 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 ba-
No, they just go blank and stop working.
Or you'll be like, you'll go blah what and be like at a 5,000 RPM, and the tack will go oh and it'll drop back down, and then you'll get the beep even when you hit the RPM. The beep still happens, but the beep is what brings us in to, in my opinion, the most iconic beep of all of the RXs. The Mazda bastard child, the one everybody hates. Everybody hates them.
I actually like them.
The Mazda RX-8, and we're gonna end on the RX-8,
the
but we're gonna talk about the
The
RX-8.
reason I like them, they're so cheap.
That's because they're all blown up.
Yeah, they don't run.
Yeah, but
sorry,
when I
04 to 06, they all don't run.
No,
No,
even
no,
the newer ones don't run.
No, you know
No,
what?
the newer
I've
ones
seen
are
3
unobtainium.
of them driving around town with no smoke.
That's
because
because they've been rebuilt already. But I will say
Twice.
though, the RX-8, like R3, the last one, which I think was 09.
Yeah.
What an awesome car.
Yeah.
Like, I've never really liked the RX-8s until, I can't remember who had one. Somebody I knew
Forza?
who was somebody had one. And my biggest qualm with the RX-8s is that they all came with back seats. They didn't offer like a 2+2 option.
Yeah.
And that was my thing, was like, well, if you're going to offer the car with a back seat no matter what, it better be nice. And I rode in the back of an RX-8 once.
Suck.
It ain't bad.
So my friend Richard had an RX-8 with a Veilside body kit on it, right? Really nice car. It's all black interior. And I remember when I first saw this car, he was deployed, and his wife said, "We need to go." This was up in Hinesville, Georgia, because he was in the Army. So she's like, "We gotta go get his car. It's on base. We gotta take it home." Okay. And at the time, I had my Grand Prix, my GXP, with the V8.
Mm-hmm.
So we got up there, and we got to the car. I was sitting there. She goes, "This might take a minute to start." Because I've been sitting for a while. Anyway, finally got it running. Letting it warm, but noxious fucking exhaust. This thing was like retarded loud. So even if freaking idle, like
The Renaissance. Mazda's like, fuck you, ankle. We're gonna do our own thing. How'd that work out for you, bud?
So anyway, we're leaving. It's warmed up. And she's fucking driving it. As soon as we get off fucking post, she decides she's gonna open it up. Keep in mind, I'm in a V8, 5.3 liter fucking V8 Grand Prix.
No, the RX-8s were never any slouch ever.
And
Honestly.
she starts. The next thing I know, we get off fucking. She's dead. The next thing I know, I hear. I'm like, oh shit, she's on it. She's fucking on it.
She was hearing the beep.
Dude. I look down, dude, and she's pulling away from me. I mean, like walking away, dude. I look down. We're at like 110, 115, 120, dude, and she's pulling away from me, dude. I got my foot in the fucking floorboard of the Grand Prix. I'm like, why am I not keeping up with this fucking car right now? How come? I was like stupefied by this fucking thing. I'm like, why are you walking away from me in a fucking RX-8 right now, and I'm in a big V8 Grand Prix?
But the one thing about that
I was
RX-8
like, fuck.
is, listen here, if you live less than a quarter mile away from that goddamn gas station, you better not start it up and drive it there, because you ain't going home.
It'll flood.
It'll flood, and it will flood, and it will flood, and it will flood, and it will flood. And all the way up to the RX-8 R3, it will flood.
Yep.
And they're insanely expensive to maintain. Fantastic engines after
Renaissance,
the whole Renaissance, after the beginnings.
Yeah.
After we solved the whole compression and water jacket issues, fantastic cars. I don't think they appealed to the people and kept on long enough, just because, and I will say it, they're ugly. And they're crazy looking. They're out of this planet.
They're not ugly. They're a car that the guy who designing it just refused to quit designing it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is like he refused to quit designing it, and he over-engineered the outside. You're like, okay. So then you get to the inside, and you're like, guess what? This car's got a rotary. I know that, but you don't need to remind me on the shifter,
Triangles.
the seats, the door
Triangles.
handles,
Yeah,
the
everywhere.
dashboard,
Triangle.
the
What
exhaust,
shape is
the
the car?
bumper,
It's a
the
triangle.
front bumper, the rear bumper.
But you also got to remember, this is the mid-2000s.
Yeah, but the thing is that
It's the
because I love Mazda so
mid-2000s.
much, but like by the second you're in, the
But-
fucking top half of
No,
the
hold
shifter
on,
fell
hold
off
on.
anyway, and
No,
you'd have
but
just
you
a
gotta
blank,
you
ugly
gotta
glue mark.
Think about
They're
this.
triangles.
You gotta think about this. It's the early mid-2000s. What happened in the early mid-2000s?
Fast and Furious.
Triangles.
Triangles.
Fast and
Triangles.
Furious.
Triangles?
Triangles.
Blame
Triangles,
this all on the
triangles.
Fast and the Furious.
It's our Mazda Unos Cosmo inspired rear seat. It has a console that comes all the way back. That's fucking great.
You only got one door to go in?
No. Sorry, that's great. Why do I need an armrest? I'm over here. Your seat's all the way up, is it?
That was perfect.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know if that picked up on the camera or not. But that was perfect
They're
timing.
watching the original Saw in there, and they started yelling. So, on that note, bring a trailer!
Yeah, it's that time to go bring a trailer.
Okay. Will, my good friend,
bring a
you were
trailer.
going to lead us into this. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the slideshow.
We have no idea what it is. So,
That's an FD.
is it an FD?
It's an FD.
I can't see it.
It's a red
it's an
FD.
It's an FD that's not been LS swapped. Okay.
That's a stock FD.
It's
$25,000.
bone stock.
It's tan interior, black.
Ooh, tan and
black
black
tan and black.
interior.
Red
That's
color.
most common. Red. Hold on. Do you have a back of the car? Or
We have it back of the car.
we got fog lights. I need to see the back.
Pop, pop, up and down headlights. Pop, 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 up.
All right, so it's a base model. It's not a touring. It's a base
Yep.
turbo.
Yep.
That's a base turbo, not a touring. What year are we?
93.
93. Okay.
Mileage.
First year.
93, we have 21,000 miles shown.
Wow. Do
And
we have
that's a 6-digit fucking.
owners?
odometer.
How many? If it lists. Are-
Let me go ahead and just read it. This 1993 Mazda RX-7 Touring shows 21,000 miles and was acquired out of Florida
Ooh.
in a July 2018 BAT auction by the seller who moved the car to Ontario, Canada.
Whoa, dial that back a second. You said July 2018 BAT auction. They bought
Yes.
it off Bring a Trailer?
Yes.
Okay. So we know this car's cherry then.
And it has been moved to Canada, but has probably not seen
The
the
car.
No.
The car is finished in vintage red over a tan leather interior and has a sequentially turbocharged 1.3 liter 13B rotary engine.
Ooh.
Delivers power through a 5-speed manual transmission.
Ooh.
Additional equipment includes factory 16-inch wheels, disc brake, sunroof, fog lights, AC, cruise control. Service under current ownership is said to have included an oil change and compression test. This FD3S is now offered with some service records and a clean Carfax. Anything else you
I
want?
mean, you
to
pretty much got to top that. If it was on BAT before and it's on there again,
Yeah.
everything works. Everything's good. Everything's everything.
The
You
cabin
said-
features tan leather upholstered in black trim, and the tan carpeting is fitted with RX-7 floor mats. The car is equipped with air conditioning as well as cruise control. The cargo area houses a Bose acoustic wave system.
Oh,
It's still one
fuck,
of, yeah,
okay.
it's so cool, man. And it really like
Sounds
being
good.
my buddy had a
Well,
red
hold
Grand
on,
Touring.
here's-
and
Here's the thing
sound.
for you. The seller states that the car was exposed to smoke from a fire in adjacent storage unit, which occurred between the time when the previous auction ended and the car was shipped to Ontario. The seller notes a related intermittent charcoal odor when the car is started.
Oh, so it's got
So
some.
it's probably within the filter.
There's no filter. It's just been in that too long. It needs to be ozonated.
Yeah.
That's still not a big deal. That's still a very, very, very much so collector car for it being the first and everything.
Hey,
I'm
I'm gonna let Dan do the first price.
I'm gonna brand that car with 48 grand all day.
48.
He's cold.
Poor guy. I'm cold because it's
Chris?
fucking freezing.
I was gonna say 45.
39.
39, Mike wins.
Wow.
33,500.
No, we all lost.
Wow.
Yeah, we all
He
lost.
was
Well,
closest, though.
Wow.
You gotta be closest without going over.
Oh, well.
I'm surprised it sold that cheap. Honestly,
33 grand.
It has to be because of the smoke.
must be
It must be a pretty brutal fucking smoke smell.
right.
Cause like those cars, I've seen those with that mileage reach over 100.
I mean that thing was cherry. I can't believe it sold for that little.
No, same here. Wow.
All right, guys.
Anyway,
So, hey, before we end, I would like to say, guys, watch our Facebook, because the next couple of days, I'm going to be showing a surprise.
Surprise!
There will be a surprise.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Surprise, motherfucker! I'll be doing a live feed, hopefully on Monday. So, keep an eye out on our Facebook page. Yeah. that's all I'm
Also-
giving away.
Tonight on Top Gear, Will might buy a new car.
maybe you never know.
You never know.
Tonight on
Tonight.
Top Gear.
Might buy a new car.
Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you smash the like button, hit the bell, and press the subscribe.
Oh, yeah, ring
Because
the
what are you
bell.
gonna do when the subscribe button
The
rings
subscribe
down
button
on you?
rains down. And enjoy some Eurobeat while we like randomly do stuff like the camera's going away, it's off the camera and all that stuff.
night, everybody.
川の流れ右へ流れ操られてる向こう岸に咲く